All right, we are just going to be cold calling today for 30 to 40 minutes on this live right before we have my first team call of the day. But yeah, use it if you want to cold call with me. I will also probably just be role playing uh, with myself of how to practice seller scripts and stuff like that. So let me get it started and we're dialing. All right. I also, if you noticed, you probably did notice, I actually lowered the lighting for my lives because I was cold calling so much and making so many lives that the bright light was actually killing my eyes and I was getting headaches. So I just have low light on right now, so it's not the best quality video, but hopefully you guys don't mind too much. Well, that makes it look better, portrait mode. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess I really should be answering questions. I'll do that later. Okay. Everything's connected, right? Yep, good to go. Sound is on. Alrighty. So if I'm setting the appointment, let's just read through my script of setting the actual appointment. So it's not like a follow-up call on a seller. It's just when we set the appointment in person or on a call. What would I say? I would say, hey, well, thank you so much, John, for first off inviting me into your world. It means a lot. If I'm on a virtual call, then I get into the rules. Hey, can I share with you how these appointments normally go? Hopefully he says yes. And I say, these meetings generally go about an hour, hour and a half. Is that still a good amount of time for you? Good. Well, typically homeowners that I talk to, they want to know a couple things. They just want to know how the process works, how much money they're getting, and when will they get their money. Did I miss anything? Oh, sorry. It's morning, so it's harder to talk because I eat mostly in the morning or all in the morning. And so sometimes my hard to talk a little bit. But after I ask those questions, then it's obviously I got to figure out if this is one of the houses I'm going to buy. And in order to do so, I'll be having to ask you some questions. Some might actually be a little bit personal. Is that okay? And hopefully they say yes. And it's naturally at the end of our time together, we're going to do one of the two things. We're going to work together or we will not work together. And either way, it's perfectly fine with me. And hopefully they get a yep. So if the offer that I make you doesn't work for you, or if you just don't think we're a good fit, would you feel comfortable telling me no? Hopefully it's yeah, I feel comfortable. Perfect. And likewise, if this isn't one of the houses that I'm gonna buy, will you be okay if I tell you that? I just want to make sure that he knows that I'm not desperate. Hopefully it's a yes. And then I'll say, and if it does actually make sense for us to work together, then we'll go ahead, put everything that we talked about in writing. Is that fair? Then we'll put it in writing. And he says, yeah, I get it. If it makes sense, let's actually write it up. Hopefully that's the case. If not, we're rescheduling. If he's not ready to actually sell. Don't want to waste my time. Then it's, you mind if I share a fear of mine? And it's hopefully he says yes. Then, well, John, a lot of the people that I've talked to, they were really afraid to hurt my feelings. And instead of telling me no, they just told me I got to think about it. Can you just promise me you won't do that? Like, I just promise you that you won't hurt my feelings. And if I hear anything besides a yes, I'm just going to take it as a no. Fair? Cool. That's the rules. I think I did that pretty well, but I was reading the script, so. Welcome, the one live viewer. We are dialing until a little bit before 9, but I'm also just reading through my script, the whole thing, practicing it, because you got to practice. Especially if you're not talking to a lot of sellers and not having a lot of appointments, like you're going to fumble over your words. So now I think I can do it. Let's do it without the script because I just read through the first part of the script. Let's say it's a virtual call. I'm meeting with a seller virtually. I'm talking, and this is just for me. Like, hopefully you guys are learning from this, but like, I'm not trying to cater this to you. I'm just practicing myself. So let's say I set an appointment for myself, it's a call, and I also let them know before the appointment that it's probably gonna take an hour. So hopefully they already understand, but I'll still confirm. Appointment happens, we're on the call, then I'm saying, "Hey, John." I'm like, "Hey, it's Justin. I know we talked before. First off, I just want to appreciate you for even inviting me into your world." Cool. Well, you mind if I share with you how these calls typically work or these appointments normally go? Then he would say something like, "Yeah, I guess that's fine." Well, they typically run hour and a half. Is that still a good amount of time for you? And he says, "Yes." And I'll say, "Perfect." So the sellers that I typically talk to, they usually want to, oh, I should probably say homeowners. So the homeowners that I talk to normally, they do want to know a couple things. They just want to know how the process works, how much money they're going to get, and when will they get their money. Am I missing anything? Like he'll think about it and he'll say, "No, I don't think that's just about all the things I want to know." Then I can go, "Perfect." Well, obviously, for me to figure out if this is one of the houses that I'm going to buy, I'm going to have to ask you some questions, and some of them might be personal. Will that be okay? And he says, "Yeah, no, I get it. You got to ask some questions. And if not, then he'll probably tell me, well, why?" Then I'd say, "Well, I have to figure out this one of the houses we're going to buy. And I don't buy every single house for every homeowner that I speak to. I wish I could, but my funds are limited. So I have to decide which house makes sense for me to buy and which seller I'm going to help by buying their house." Hopefully that should overcome that. But let's say he says, "Yeah, okay, you're good. You can ask some questions. It's perfect." Naturally, at the end of our time together, we're either going to work together or we won't. And either way, it's perfectly fine. So if the offer that I make you doesn't make sense or you just don't think we're a good fit, would you feel comfortable telling me no? Like, yes, perfect. And likewise, if I find out that this isn't one of the houses that I'm going to buy, will you be okay if I tell you that? Hopefully he says yes, then it's okay. And if it does make sense for us to work together, then we'd go ahead and just put everything we talked about in writing. Is that fair? Fair. Cool. Well, a big fear of mine actually is you seem like a really nice guy. And a lot of the homeowners that I've spoken to in the past, they were just really afraid to hurt my feelings. And instead of telling me no, they told me they had to think about it. Can you just promise me you won't do that? I promise you can't hurt my feelings. And if I hear anything besides yes or no, or besides yes, I'm just gonna take it as no. Fair? Okay, so those are the rules. Good practice for the beginning of setting the appointment for sellers when you actually have an appointment, not just like a follow-up call. Why hasn't anyone picked up? It's 8:27 a.m. I get it. All right, 55 dials. We're rolling. Now, I'm pretty comfortable with this part, with all the rest of the appointment, maybe except the closing or like the very end of it, like setting expectations stuff. But I'm pretty good with pain extracting. I guess I'll still practice though. So once we set the rules on the call, I'll say a couple things. My go-to when I'm extracting pain from a seller is usually, "Hey, like it sounds like just from the notes I have here, it sounds like you got a really nice home. Why would you consider selling to an investor like me?" And I'm just trying to set the expectation that, hey, the offer is going to be low. I'm an investor. They know that I have to make money on this purchase. So it just sets the expectation. And if they're like, if they really don't want to sell at a discount, then it probably won't make sense for you for a cash offer. But there's other creative ways. But I'll still ask that. Why would you sell to an investor like me? And hopefully that's a good starting point. Um, that's usually my go-to, and that usually works because I have some rapport built. But it could be other things. It's like, well, why would you even consider selling your home? Why not go to market? Or like you might try to rule out other options if they're just not giving you anything. It's like, well, why not go with a realtor? Or why not just rent it out? Depending on whatever the situation is. And hopefully they say one kind of pain over that time, because that's the whole purpose of this call. Like most of your call on the seller appointment is spent on pain, like the why they want to sell. It's like digging into that. And when I say digging, it's not like you're attacking them. You're just curious. So if they say something, "Yeah, like I had this surgery and like now we actually have to move because of it." And you're like, "Oh, just can you tell me more about that?" And then he might say, "Well, yeah, I mean, I had this major surgery and like this house isn't good for us anymore because of this," or something. That's probably not a good reason. But let's go with like tenant situation. Let's say, "Yeah, I mean, this tenant's really causing me issues, and can you tell me more about that?" They might say something like, "Yeah, actually, the tenant, they're not really paying. They're kind of messing the house up, and it's really hard to just collect money from them." And I might say, "Dang, like, bummer. Like, how long has that been happening?" Um, hopefully, hello, Brian. Hello, Brian. Oh, oh, my name's Justin. Did I get the wrong number? Okay. Well, sorry about that. Okay. She said, "Take me off your list," but she said, "You do realize it's 8:30 in the morning. It's not appropriate to cold call people." Actually, miss, it's legally allowed starting at 8, which is why I'm calling. If it was 6, then yeah, it's inappropriate. 7 AM, inappropriate. 8, appropriate. So, I get where she's coming from, but we gotta do what we have to do. Okay, so where was I at? On extracting pain, let's just say that we're talking about a tenant situation and hello, Bill? Hello, Bill? Oh, hello, can you hear me, Bill? Hi, my name's Justin. Did I get the right person? Is this Bill? Is this Bill? Oh, is this Bill? No, no, your name is Jim? Oh, no, 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 sorry about that. Oh, okay, that's a good one. He I think he was crazy maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. That was weird. Anyways, back to perfect seller appointment, extracting pain from the seller. Let's assuming that we're already now talking about the tenant situation. And I asked, well, I asked a couple questions. I asked, can you tell me more about that? And then how long has that been happening about like them not paying? Then he might just explain further of, well, it's been actually a couple months, like 3 months or so. I really don't know how to collect this money. Then it's like, well, what have you tried to do about it? And they might explain, well, I tried texting him, calling him, knocking on the door. It's like nothing's working. Or if he didn't say that, then I would just say, well, has it worked? Has it been working? Or then he'll probably say, no, like not working at all. And then from there, I'm like, well, man, like, how do you feel about that? And what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to dig into the pain. I want him to feel it. I want the homeowner to feel that pain because homeowners or people, we don't make decisions logically. We make decisions emotionally and we justify logically. So if I can get the emotions out of someone by just asking the right questions, you're not attacking them. You're like feeling for them. You're supporting them. That's kind of what it feels like. That's how the call feels like. So I might ask, "How do you feel about it?" He's like, "Dude, it sucks. Like I don't know what to do." Um, and then from there, if it's not a money issue or something, I might just say, "Have you given up trying to fix the problem or solve that?" And we'll just see what they say. We'll see if he says, "I don't know, like, I haven't given up. I know I need to deal with it. I just don't know what to do. I don't really like this tenant. This rental's been causing me a headache now." And then I also will ask, "Well, does anyone else know?" And I ask this because usually when people are feeling pain, they don't tell it to other people, and it's usually just bottled up inside. "Hello, Darren?" Oh, hello, Darren? Okay, not available. That was weird. But yeah, people when they're Hello, Shaminderjit? Hi, my name's Justin. Did I get the wrong person? Oh, yeah, sorry. My name's Justin. I actually don't know if you can help. I'm just trying to reach the owner of 7357 Babigian, I think that's how you say it. Oh, you're probably not interested in selling it. Oh, this is my first time calling you. I'll take you off though. Okay. Bye-bye. Everyone thinks all cold callers are the same person. There's like thousands. But yeah, when someone's in pain, they usually don't share it with a lot of people. They keep it inside. And so when you ask that question, does anyone else know? They'll start to feel lonely. Well, if they haven't shared it, they're like, no, like I'm dealing with this myself. I haven't really told anyone, maybe an attorney or something. So now you are in the position where you know something that no one else in their life knows. And that's a really good situation too, because like you're there for them now. And then the question then becomes, well, what would happen if I couldn't help you? Just what would happen if you couldn't deal with the problem and I couldn't help you by buying your house? That's what we're trying to get into that frame of mind for the seller so that when they are ready, hopefully they're ready to sell now. But they'll start thinking, well, I don't know what I would do. Like, I do need to sell it. Like, can you buy it? They'll start asking us and hoping that we're going to buy it. That's what we want. We want them to hope that we're going to buy it. We don't we don't want them to have the power in the conversation. We want to make sure that we're guiding them in the way of bringing the emotions out so that they want us there. We don't want the clash. We want it to be like supporting. Like we're going through this scenario together, and I will help you out through this. And that's all it is. So that's how you extract pain. And then once you get one pain out, you just try to figure out there's more. So maybe you go through that whole pain funnel, and then you might ask, well, is this the only thing that's causing issues or this kind of stress about this property, or is there other things too? Maybe they see other things. Maybe they're like, well, I'm actually behind on property taxes too. And and then I might say, "Well, can you tell me more about that?" And then run through the same funnel. "Can you tell me more about that?" You might say, "Yeah, like it's I haven't paid for a while and I keep getting these letters from the city and there's just like it's stressful because it's becoming a headache." And I might say a similar thing like, "Well, bummer, like how long have you been getting these letters?" And again, they might say, "Well, it's been happening for the last 6 months or so, and I just don't have the money for these property taxes." And it's like, "Well, how much would you need to take care of that problem?" Just try to get an idea of those taxes. You might say, "Well, I think they're at like 6,000, 5,000 bucks of property taxes. I just don't have the money for it." Then it's just, "Well, hello, Rolando? Hello? Rolando? Oh, wow. Hang up. Not available then." Um, where was I at? Okay, how much would you need to take care of that? Maybe it's like 6,000 bucks or so. Um, might ask, well, what have you tried to do to solve that or try to remedy that situation? Might say, I don't know. I've been trying to like work extra, work a different job and stuff like that. And might say, well, did that work? Well, that sounded bad. I said, did that work? I don't know. My tone was that the tone was, hello, Nancy. Oh, voicemail, not available. Oh, Wes O asked a question. What areas do I call in? I call Fresno, California. That's it. It's my market. And that's what I recommend for you all watching is if you have a market, don't just if you're new especially, don't just immediately think, "Yeah, this is my city. I'm gonna call this city and the city next to it and the one next to it and the one next to it." It's like, don't do that. There's so many people, and good chances are even if you get the deal locked up, like you just won't know the other markets as well as yours. Because if you're starting in your hometown or just your own backyard where you live, you likely know the streets somewhat. You know the bad areas, you know the good ones. Whereas when you get a deal locked up, you're like you might be excited about getting a lead in a different market. Hello, Jason. Okay, not available. But you might be excited about getting a deal in a different market, and then you just actually you're not able to do anything with it. or you actually don't wanna buy it or wholesale it. I run into that situation. Hello, Antonio? Hello, Antonio? Oh, uh, poco. ¿Quieres vender tu casa? Oh, oh, gracias, adiós. Mm, how's español? But yeah, that was an issue that I had at the very beginning of my journey is I got a couple deals in Fresno, and then I got overconfident. I was like, "Great, like, I got a couple deals in Fresno, like, let me attack Fresno County, like, everything." And I had a bunch of leads in different areas, and I just ended up not, like, wanting to buy them or not wanting to wholesale them, so then I would send them to other realtors to get, listings for them, and I would get referral fees, so I'd get some money, but I would have made so much more money starting out if I just focused on one city. So I would do that, just focus on one area. Okay. What was I at? Okay, he's talking about property taxes. He was talking about like, well, how long it's been a problem? What have you tried to do about it? Did it work? I also asked like, oh, how much money would you need to take care of that? Like, dang. Hello, Donald. Oh, voicemail. Okay, how much would you need to take care of those property taxes? They're like, well, 5K or so. I'm like, man, how do you feel about that? Hopefully he's like, well, that's also stressful, adding another stress on my shoulders and weight on my chest. And then same thing. Well, does anyone else know? Like, no, no one knows about this either. And then it's like, well, what would you do if I couldn't help you with that problem? And then same kind of question. So that's the pain funnel for both things. And then you just keep doing that to extract all their pains. They might have multiple. Sometimes they just have one main one. So after you extract the pains, it's really just about transitioning it and confirming and validating those feelings. So it's like, hey, like, let me just make sure I understand this all. Like, you're feeling really stressed because this tenant has not been paying for 3 months or so, and they're kind of beating up your property. And it's not only that, but you're feeling even more anxious because these property taxes you're not getting paid, and the city's, sending you these letters saying that they're going to take your house. Did I get that right? And if they say, yeah, like that's hello, how? Hello, how? Okay. So did I get that right? He's like, yeah, it's pretty spot on. I'm like, dang, okay. So give me like on a scale, 1 to 10. 1 being you don't need to sell the home at all. 10 being I really should take care of these problems. Where do you land on that scale? And hopefully they say high number, but it really doesn't matter unless they say a really low number. Um, but if hello, Clayton? Hello, Clayton? Oh, okay. He said no, thank you, but I didn't even say anything. Mornings, people tend to be a bit grumpier too, just from my experience of actually dialing. Mornings, people are grumpier. They're pretty receptive after 5. Hello, Kelly. Hi, my name's Justin. I probably caught you at a bad time. I said, my name's Justin. Is this Kelly? Oh, oh, I got the wrong number. I'm sorry. Okay, bye bye. Okay, yeah. So I was saying mornings, people tend to be a little bit meaner, a bit grumpier, more like take me off your list. Why are you calling so early? I'm like, why did you pick up? But evenings after 5, people are a lot more receptive. And they probably have a little bit more time. And then during that workday, like the 8 to 5 kinda area, people seem to be, like when they do pick up the phone, they're definitely more rushed, trying to get off. "Hello, Sebastian?" "Huh, not available. You should have said something because 'cause we're gonna keep calling you." 392 dials, and I gotta go in 15 minutes. Alright. Okay, so back to the scale. So let's say they say 7 on that pain scale. They're like, "Yeah, I gotta take care of the problem pretty much." That might say, "Look, everyone says that." Now, usually, there's one of 3 things that can stop me and a homeowner from working together. It's either price, timeline, or other people that are involved. Of those 3, which do you think would stop us from working together? And they would probably say price. Most people will say price. And if they say price, you go on to extracting price. Now, hopefully by now, you have an idea of where they want to be in price. Because like that's the whole point. Like you don't want to waste your time on an appointment if the person like didn't give you a price. But even if they didn't give you a price, as long as you know they're actually motivated and ready to sell, then it really doesn't matter. You can find a way to help them. Like motivation is the most important thing. If they want to sell, even if it's a high price, like market value, you can still find a way to help them. Like there's creative ways to structure a deal, or last resort, like there's a listing. You can offer them a realtor, or if you're a realtor yourself, you can take the listing and still make money on it and help them in the process. But ideally, you have some idea of price before you get to this stage of setting the appointment. Hmm. Also, the person on this call, Wes, there's a couple people here, but Wes O, what are you doing in real estate? Are you doing marketing? Are you looking to wholesale? Because you likely are not watching this if you're not trying to get in real estate. Like I'm cold calling. Like that's very boring to watch unless you're learning. So, what are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Ask your questions. No questions dumb, because we don't know what we don't know. Okay. But if I'm extracting price, hopefully by this point too, when I was setting the appointment or I had an appointment setter to set the appointment, they would warn them or give them a heads up that before they set the appointment, they would say, "Hey, look, before we set this appointment with my partner, is there anyone else who has input on the sale of this house? Not necessarily a co-owner." But, hello, Raid? Oh, my name's Justin. Is this Raid? Oh, my name's Justin. I don't know if you can help me actually. I'm just trying to reach the owner of 8068 Angus. Oh, okay. Okay. Have a good one. Take me out of the list. I get a lot more of these in those mornings, but he doesn't want to sell, so doesn't really matter. Um, decent amount of people are actually answering though. Oh, actually, no, not that many. In this small session, it's been 30 calls to connect. Usually I'm like half that, like 14, 15 calls to connect to one person. So morning, people just don't answer as much. That's okay. Still worth getting the dials in, getting the reps in, because you got to squeeze it in somehow. And if you're doing this yourself and it's going to be you doing the dialing and it's for your business, like you should be doing this all day as much as humanly possible. Because the only reason people fail is like they don't do it long enough in terms of time, like the whole frame of months or years, but they also just don't do enough of it. So the ways that people will fail and not make money from cold calling. Hello, RS. Ow. I don't want to call that number again. Okay. But yeah, the main ways that the only way people will fail while they're cold calling for deals is like sometimes people will just not do enough volume. They won't do enough activity every single day. Someone might come to me like, dude, I've been cold calling for 5 months and I got nothing. I'm like, well, how many dials do you make a day? And they'll tell me 100. I'm like, dude, like every day you should be making at least 3,000. Like, then it's like, "Oh, I get it." If they kept doing that, they would eventually get a deal, but it's volume. So sometimes you can be doing the right thing, but just not enough of it. Sometimes, also, you can just be doing all the right things. Like, they can be doing everything right, but they just didn't give enough time. You gotta let time do its thing. They could be making those 3,000 dials a day or more, and they just gotta give it time. Like, they just gotta play the patient game. Hello, Fausto? Hello, is this Fausto? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, wrong numbers. But yeah, either you're not doing enough volume, you're hello, Juan? Oh, sorry, wrong number. Okay. So you're either not doing enough volume by the day, by the week, or you're doing all the right things and you're just not giving it enough time. Or you're actually doing the hello, Christopher? Hi, my name's Justin. I don't know if you can help me. I've just been trying to reach the owner of 1343 B Street. My name's Justin. I was just looking for the owner of that B Street address I gave you. Oh, you're probably not interested in selling it. My name's Justin. I'm looking to buy that house or my next house. Yes. Well, I don't know what I can offer yet. I'm really just seeing if you're even interested in actually selling. Yeah, no, I buy for profit. So, but it just depends if it makes sense for the homeowner. So, are you actually interested in selling or are you just, looking for a number? It's public record. We're just looking for houses in this area and why? Oh, he hung up. He's like, "Well, what's your number so I can call you or your house?" I was like, "I get calls too." Let's not call him. People are just people are too angry. People don't sleep enough. That's what it is. 8 minutes, probably like 6 or so minutes. I gotta go and start a team call. Hello, Richard? Hello, Richard? Uh, wait, hello? Oh, that was a voicemail. I didn't hear all of it. 654 dials. Should pause a little bit early to get some more water. Okay, I'm gonna chill now. I've been talking for a long time. I'm just gonna read over parts of the script now. Hello, Maria? Okay, instant hang up. Mm, I didn't get an answer, so you should have said something, Maria. 20 connects, not bad for how long has it been? It's been okay. 35. Yeah, there's a lot of calls to connect right now in the morning. That's how I know it's not the best time to call, but we still have to call. Hello, Eloy? Okay, that was a fast hang up too. Hello, David? Hi, my name's Justin. I don't know if you can help me. I've just been trying to reach the owner of 8484 Brawley. Oh, my name's Justin. I was just I was just looking for the homeowner of Brawley. I was trying to see if they're interested in selling it. Okay, I'll call back another time. Okay, bye. He couldn't hear me. Wait, is that my fault? I think everything's working. Maybe it's just probably a bad connection. So not available. Bummer. Okay, it's 8:55. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna break the dialer, and I will see you all on the next sessions. Take care.